Hi everybody, my name's Haley and I'm here today to talk to you guys about something important to me. It's something called Tourette Syndrome. Now I don't know if all of you have heard of that. I'm sure you have heard the name Tourette Syndrome, but you don't really know what it is or what it's about. So today I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to try and tell you what Tourette's is and my story on Tourette's, because believe it or not, I have Tourette Syndrome. It may not seem like it now. But yeah, I have Tourette's, and it's a neuropsychiatric disorder, so it affects the nerves, and it's inherited. So I inherited it from my grandfather. And when it's inherited, there's really, when I have kids, there's a 50% chance that I could pass it down to my children, so it could go either way. So it skips generations. So there's two different kinds of tics, which are, the movements and sounds that people with Tourette's make. There's vocal tics, pretty self-explanatory. Anything that you say or a sound that comes out of your mouth, or like clearing your throat or something, that's considered a vocal tic. A motor tic or physical tic, pretty self-explanatory. For example, my motor tics are, I scrunch my nose a lot, all the time, and I go like this. I have an eye blinking one. I have a couple other ones. I'm 20 years old. I was diagnosed when I was 8. So over the years, as I got older, I really don't notice a lot of them anymore. But yeah, I do have a few. Not as much as I used to when I was younger. It was really bad. But as you get older, when you have Tourette's, as you get older, it really, your Tourette's kind of simmers down. Like, it just lessens as you get older. The motor tics and the vocal tics. But yeah, so Tourette's is often known, for example, I have talked to people about Tourette's, and the first thing that they say is, the thing where people swear uncontrollably. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that that specific kind of Tourette's is portrayed a lot in certain movies and shows and things like that. So I think that's what people really think of when they hear Tourette's, is the swearing. And not a lot of people have that kind of Tourette's. There's a very low percentage of people that have that kind, and I do know a couple people that have that kind, and it's really hard for them. It's really not funny. But it really makes me mad when I see it on movies, and it's like they're trying to be funny about it. But you gotta kind of see it from the point of view of the person that has it, watching it at home, and they have to deal with it every day. And it's really not that funny to them. At least in my eyes, if I had it, then that's how I would feel. But, there's ways to suppress Tourette's. There's not really a way to completely get rid of them. I used to be on medication from the age when I was diagnosed, which was 8, until the age of around 13 or 14, and that's when I decided that I was going to take myself off of my medication. I took myself out. I didn't even tell my parents. I kind of just started not taking them and lying to my parents, essentially. And because my neurologist would always be switching my dosages and what kind of medications I took, and because of that, it would spike up my appetite, and then I would, gain weight and lose weight, and I would just be so tired all the time, and it really just wasn't worth it to me to do with that, the side effects of the medication. And the crazy thing is that after I stopped taking the medication, about a year later, after, it was all out of my system, it really just, my Tourette's started to not be as severe as they were, which is kind of crazy. It really makes you think, people are giving you medication to try and help you suppress these tics, and they're really making them worse. That's what it seemed like to me when I took myself off. But yeah, tics are sudden, repetitive, non-rhythmic movements that involve discrete muscle groups. So really, you could have any kind of tic. I remember I had one where in school I would kind of hop, and then when I touched the ground again after I hopped, I would arch my back and then do it again. it was kind of like an OCD thing too, because they say OCD and ADHD and ADD are present in a lot of patients that have Tourette's. And I've never been diagnosed for OCD or ADHD, but I believe that I have both. And the reason why I believe this is because, as you can see, I'm playing with my hair, and I mean, it's a typical girl thing to do, but I do it a lot. I brush my hair all the time when it's straightened, and it drives me crazy, and that's an OCD thing. And I really wish I didn't do it, because like I said, it drives me nuts, and it's really annoying to just have that urge to whip my brush out anywhere I am in the middle of a store or a restaurant and brush my hair. It's annoying. And I'd love to just stop, but it doesn't work that way. Yeah, I used to, typical OCD things that people with OCD do, you think of, they have to do things a certain way, and touch things a certain way and things like that. I used to have to touch things a certain way, like, or step on tiles a certain way in school, but I don't really do that anymore. I mean, I have little things here and there for OCD, but that's really, I know my hair brushing one is the top number one thing that I do all the time. And then ADHD, the only reason I believe that I have that is because being in school, I had a really hard time focusing, and to this day I really do have a hard time focusing. But when I am focused, like I said, I really don't tic a lot, which I'm really not right now, but yeah, those two things, OCD and ADHD, really coincide with Tourette Syndrome. And like, you can try, like, if you have Tourette's, you can try and control your Tourette's, but it's really just gonna make it worse, because it's almost like if you're trying to hold it in, it's almost like a sneeze. Like, you can't hold in a sneeze. It's gonna come out one way or another, and you're just gonna make it worse. I remember I used to try and hold it in, and it would really make it worse. Like I said, it's the urge of wanting to do it like a sneeze. Yeah, it's just better to not try and suppress it. It's better to just let it happen. I mean, society, if you're in public and you're really embarrassed about it, who cares? Like, I had to deal with a lot of crap from people that I didn't even know, because society is really cruel, and they just can't accept the fact that people are different, and they're gonna judge you no matter what. So I didn't have this state of mind when I was younger, but now going through it and living with Tourette's, like, it helps me to deal with people like that. People are very cruel, and you really can't let that get to you, especially when you have something like, for example, people judge other people with disorders such as autism or Asperger's or Tourette's. Like, people are going to judge you if you're different no matter what, and you just have to learn to not let that get to you. It took me a long time to really not let it bother me, but I mean, things are always going to bother you to a certain degree, but don't beat yourself up over it. Like, just because you're different and they can accept the fact that you're different doesn't mean that, you shouldn't put yourself down for that. No. Because I remember my dad told me a story when I was younger. We went to go visit my grandfather in the hospital, and this had happened a couple other times in stores. We were in an elevator, and I had tics, vocal or motor, and this lady was with her son, and she ended up getting off. She gave me like crazy looks, and because I was doing these things, and she ended up getting off a floor that was not her floor, because she essentially didn't want her child to see me and question what it was, and she was me. And you're gonna come across people like that all the time. No matter, even if you don't have anything wrong with you, people are mean. And that's what I've learned throughout the years, being in high school and elementary school. Like, kids are cruel when you're that young. I remember being in the class and having a vocal tic, and somebody told me to stop, and I'm like, well, I can't help it. Went on for a couple minutes, going back and forth between, oh, I can't help it, and the person saying, yes, you can. You can't. So just don't let people bother you. It takes a lot to not let people bother you, but once you really get to that point, and it doesn't bother you anymore. Being diagnosed when I was 8, I really became a stronger person over the years. I'm 20 years old, dealt with it for a long time. It made me and my family really, strong. It just, dealing with breakdowns every month that I would go to my parents and I get really depressed, be like, listen, why did God choose to give me this disorder and have me deal with this? And I would cry and cry for hours and be so depressed, and it was a common thing with people who had Tourette's. At least that's what my neurologist said. And it's really sad, but looking back at it, and I always had said this to my parents once I really accepted the fact that I had it, that I really don't think I would be the person that I am today if it wasn't for Tourette's. If you know me, I'm a really easygoing, for the most part, really friendly, mellow person, and I don't take crap really from anybody. Things are, like I said, some things are always going to bother you, but you really can't let the little stuff get to you, and cruel people get to you, because you're going to have people in your life like that forever. And then there's, I remember being younger and going to a Tourette Syndrome group. It was called TSA, Tourette Syndrome Association, and it really helped me, because you really don't realize when you have a problem like that, or even any disorder, that you just think you're the only person with that problem, and it's really not the case. Once you go to something like a support group for things, it really opens your eyes and makes you see that you're not the only person dealing with this. There's so many people, and some of them are way worse than you, and they had to put up with a lot more, and it really made me open my eyes and just deal with it. I wasn't the only person, and I had people to talk to about it, and so you're not, if you have a disorder, or you just feel like you're different from everybody else, and you're not. There's people out there that feel what you feel and have what you have. You're not the only person. Don't put yourself down for that. But yeah, growing up with Tourette's has really made me who I am today, and I'm pretty thankful for it, and that I have it. I never used to be, but I really am thankful for it. Like, I don't know what I would do without my parents, and I mean, I had so many people to help me get through it, and I'm really thankful for that. And you know, I thought when I was younger, you know, I'm never gonna find anybody that's gonna accept me, like a significant other that's gonna accept me with this problem, and you know, I did, and he doesn't really, and most of my friends too don't really even see the tics anymore. Like, it's just something that they dealt with for so long, and you know, me and my boyfriend have been together for 5 years, and I couldn't be happier, and he helps me, you know, every day with everything, not just Tourette's, but yeah, you know, there's people, if you ever need to talk to anybody, like, there's people out there to talk to, but I believe that I've covered everything, and I hope this kind of helped people to really see what it is, and I hope it helped people who have it. Yeah, so, I mean, I tried my best to educate everybody and tell you my story, and no hate comments. I don't want any hate. I'm just trying to help. So yeah, that's my story, and that's my video. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.